Hello everyone, and hair in my mouth. Hello everyone, and welcome to another video. I'm Jordan. I'm super excited to show you these Mediterranean-inspired lunch recipe ideas. I recently started a new job, so I am back to work, and I normally meal plan every week, but this week I definitely stepped up my game and made these 3 delicious recipes, all starting from one sauce, and then I used it 3 different ways in the recipes. They're all super high protein, full of fiber, full of lots of colors and nutrients, but they're all made with very similar ingredients, so it makes it super simple for prepping and shopping. We start with a tzatziki sauce, and a tzatziki sauce traditionally is made with Greek or regular plain yogurt, but here I'm using silken tofu. It's full of really good protein, but none of the dairy, so it's a plant-based version. Okay, that's all we have to talk about, so let's watch the video.
Okay, so first up we are making the base recipe, which is the tzatziki sauce. So we're going to start with silken tofu, 2 cloves of garlic, apple cider vinegar, or you can use red wine vinegar, some dried dill or fresh, and extra virgin olive oil. So you're going to start with your tofu and just crumble it up in a bowl. Add your minced garlic. Then add your vinegar, about 1 tablespoon. And then another tablespoon of olive oil, which is optional. You could probably leave it out if you don't want to add oil. And then a generous teaspoon of dried dill. If you're using fresh, I would say probably a tablespoon. And then just some salt and pepper to taste. And then just mix it up with a fork. And then what I eventually ended up doing was using a whisk to really break up the tofu and create more of a creamy consistency. You could also put it in a blender, but I was just lazy and didn't feel like it because I didn't want to clean it out. Let me know if you've ever had that feeling. But yeah, so it's pretty much ready to go. I think that it develops a lot of flavor if you let it sit for a day, but you can certainly consume it right away, which is what we're going to do in the next recipe. For this recipe, you need 1 large sweet potato, 1/3 of a cup of chickpeas, about another 1/3 of a cup of kalamata olives, 1/3 of a cup of diced tomato, and you guessed it, 1/3 of a cup of some diced cucumber. Cook your sweet potato however you want to cook it. Bake it, microwave it, steam it. Just make sure the inside is nice and tender, and then what I like to do is score it because we're going to mash it up a little bit, and this just kind of helps to mash it up to make room for our filling. I also added some salt and pepper just to season the potato before I mashed it up. And then from here, it's super simple. You're just basically assembling your potato by adding all of the veggies that I named before. So we're adding the chickpeas, the olives, some tomatoes, then our cucumber, now we're ready to add the tzatziki sauce, and I used about a generous 2 tablespoons, just 1 tablespoon per each half of the sweet potato. You could certainly use more or less depending on how saucy you like it. And then I added some cilantro to garnish, but of course you could use parsley. For the Greek quinoa salad, we of course need dried quinoa, spinach, and some cucumber and diced red onions, some more tomatoes, and another 1/3 of a cup of chickpeas. So this one we're going to go ahead and plate in our packable to-go container just by layering the bottom with our spinach. Then we're going to add about a cup of cooked quinoa. And all the exact ingredients and amounts will be listed in the description below, so make sure you check that out. Then you're just adding your chickpeas, your vegetables, the diced onion, the cucumber, the tomatoes, and then now we're already ready for the sauce. And again, I used another 2 tablespoons, and then when I ate it, I actually got the sauce back out and added some more, and then I garnished with some lemon wedges to squeeze over and some more cilantro. So the great thing is we're using a lot of these ingredients over, which saves money and time, but we're making them in different ways to keep it fun during the week. For our third recipe, you're going to need your favorite elbow macaroni noodles. I'm using whole wheat for this one. And then about 3 cups of your favorite raw mixed vegetables. I'm using carrots, broccoli, and celery, more olives, and more dill. And then I had about a half cup of my chickpeas left, so I also threw those in as well. So you're going to cook your macaroni, and while it's still hot, you're going to add some seasonings. So this is where I added another teaspoon of dill just to make it extra dill flavored. And then I also added some nutritional yeast. Now this is totally optional, that's why I didn't add it to the ingredients, but I think it gives it a nice salty, cheesy flavor, and it also helps the sauce stick to it. So if you don't have it, don't worry about it, but if you got it in your pantry, go for it, because it definitely made it taste delicious. And then you're just gonna add your veggies and your chickpeas and your olives. And then now you're ready for your sauce. Now you're gonna use a little bit more sauce for this one. I used, I think, about 5 tablespoons it was, but again, use as much or as little as you like, depending on how you like the consistency of your macaroni salad. So then just mix it up so everything is nice and coated in the sauce. And then I also added a little extra salt and pepper just to season it, since the vegetables hadn't been seasoned. Just makes all the flavors come out even better, but just make sure you're tasting as you go so you don't over salt or pepper anything.
Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. If you have any video requests that you want me to do that have to do with meal prep or anything else plant-based food-wise, I'd be happy to make a video about it. Just leave that in the comments below. Also, if you're interested in a more plant-based diet and want recipe inspiration, meal inspiration, make sure you subscribe to my channel so you're notified when I post a new video, because I post all about plant-based food and nutrition. Like this video if you want to see more like it, and that's all I've got to say. I hope you have a great week. I'll see you next week in another video. Bye!